I mean, it's Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce.
Greetings, everybody. Hope you're all having a nice Tuesday afternoon. Got a lot of action on tonight. We got the NBA playoff game. Got some WNBA, 15 MLB. Well, actually 14. Cleveland, Minnesota is going to get postponed. And then I got Big Nasty coming on to talk golf at the end. So we'll be on for a while. Let's bring Chris on. We're starting with WNBA. So Chris is going to be batting leadoff here. Chris, I'm sure everyone wants to get to the NBA playoff game, so let's get right into it. Aces, Sun catching a whole lot of points.
Yeah, they are. And I couldn't quite get there with anything on this game, Kyle. I don't want to lay with the Aces. I really, really don't. I know that they came out. They look really bad, right? The Aces are a team that is projected to be top 3 team in the W this season. They were playing against the defending champs, though, so I guess you can cut them a little bit of slack. Chelsea Gray, Joel Lloyd, expecting to be a lot better in this situation, but 13.5 on the road. I mean, this Aces team, it says a lot about Connecticut, because the Aces went 1-4-1 when they were road favorites, double-digit road favorites last season. So is their team that much better? Kind of leans me towards Connecticut, but I watched Connecticut lose to the Washington Mystics the other day, who are also projected to be a bottom 5 team in the WNBA. And ultimately what it came down to, Kyle, was like, if I didn't bet this, just so people know, but if I had to make a bet, it would be Aces early, just because I do expect them to come out, throw the first punch. Connecticut doesn't really have much of a defensive presence at all. And I think that Becky Hammond, the coach of the Las Vegas Aces, I think like she's smart enough to know that the offense for the Connecticut Sun is going to come from either Marina Mabry or Tina Charles. Tina Charles got to deal with Asia Wilson, former Defensive Player of the Year. And then Marina Mabry, you just really need to focus on her to make it harder for Connecticut to be able to score the basketball. So if I had to bet it, I wouldn't lay this big number, but I would definitely probably play Aces first half. This was 7 earlier, and it's moved to 7.5. The spread opened, I think, 11.5, 12, and now it's up to 13.5 or 14. So that's why I would go there. As far as the second game, Kyle, Atlanta, Indiana, I didn't bet this one either. But if I were going to bet this one, the total has skyrocketed. This opened like 167.5, 169.5, something like that. It's up to like 174.5. And what we've seen so far, I've seen this a lot last season as well, is that when these totals get this high, typically you have one of those quarters. All it takes is one for the total not to get there. The Aces, the Indiana Fever were involved in a game against the Chicago Sky in their home opener on Saturday evening, and that total also went all the way up, and they held the Chicago Sky to 58 points in that game, so it went well underneath the total, which is, to me, it lands me right at either, if I'm betting this, I'm betting Fever, I'm taking them. This Fever team, Kyle, I talked about in my previous show, I talked about how I thought they were a tad bit overrated, because the market has caught up with them so much. This was a team that won like 2 games a couple years ago. And then, they go out, they get Aaliyah Boston, they get a little bit better. And then last year, of course, they get Caitlin Clark, and they get a lot better, especially towards the second half of the season. Now they're projected to like win the championship almost. Like, so it's like not a lot of betting value there. But the way I watched them absolutely tear Chicago apart in that last game, you got those bigs for Atlanta, because Brittany Griner is now on Atlanta, and they also got Bree Jones. So it's like having 2 centers. It's like, if people don't know, it's like having Shaq and Dikembe Mutombo on the team at the same time. It's like, who they going to guard? You know what I mean? Like, you bring them out. If Caitlin Clark is running pick and roll with Aaliyah Boston, she's going to absolutely shred this team. So I still think, I'm not fading. Put it like this: I'm not fading the Fever anytime soon until I see that they're like a normal basketball team. They didn't look normal. They looked super abnormal in that first game, and they weren't even shooting the ball well. So I would still lay it with the Fever here. Atlanta's coming off a disappointing loss against the Washington Mystics. It's just not a good spot for them. These two teams do play again, I think, on Thursday in Atlanta. Maybe Atlanta can get some revenge in that one. Also, as far as the total goes, the reason why Atlanta team total is something that I would bet the under on is because the Fever played the best defense of any team through one game so far. Like, they're absolutely locked in on the defensive end.
Was it good defense or bad offense on the Chicago side?
No, they were locked in. So Christy Sites is not Christy Sites. Stephanie White, Kyle, is the coach for Connecticut. Remember, Connecticut had the best defensive rating in the W last season. She has now left the Connecticut Sun, and she's on the Indiana Fever.
Okay.
So I don't think it's any fluff there. I think they her defensive principles is something that they can absolutely stop. And I think, like, I don't see a lot of mismatches. I know Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray are out there. I expect the game to be played fast, but I think team total under 83.5 would be a good look. They held Chicago to just 58 points the other day. So, and the pace can slow down. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. This is the WNBA where layups get blown all the time. It's nothing to see a team have a 9-point quarter. So these were the two ways that I would be betting it. I may still even get there and play the Fever, especially with the line dropping. I don't agree with it. So minus 7.5 or team total under.
All right, let's move on to the NBA game. We got conference final starting out west with Minnesota, Oklahoma City. This line is 7 or 7.5, depending on, let me look. Yeah, mostly 7. I'm seeing mostly 7s across the board. So we'll run the poll at 7. So obviously the first thing that comes to mind is the trends that we've referenced several times throughout the playoffs. The rest advantage, right? You got the one team coming off game 7 and the other team pretty well rested. So the rest advantage obviously heavily in favor of Minnesota. Here's the thing with that. It's kind of already cooked into the market here. Just raw EPM data has this one at 12. So the fact that this is only at 7 means the market's incorporating the rest in there. And I mean, how many point, like how heavy do you want to shade it because of the rest? Let's say you want to shave it 5 points, 2.5 minus 2.5. I mean, that's still only going to put it at about 7. So it's already shaded. It's already included. So I truly have no idea. Why don't we let Moda go first? I'm sure he's got a first quarter or something.
I did laugh. Someone in the comments said that I was on Caitlin Clark first quarter assists, so I thought that was funny. WNBA hasn't gotten into the first quarter market yet, so neither have I. I actually still like the Wolves to cover the spread in this one. I feel like the
they
Thunder,
do Moda. FanDuel actually got support.
Really?
FanDuel got first quarter points.
It wasn't showing up on the odds shopping tool I was looking at, so I'll have to check that on the actual FanDuel app.
Yeah. I saw that earlier. I didn't bet any of them, but yeah, I saw it earlier.
Yeah, no, thank you for letting me know. I'll just go to the official play that I have is Anthony Edwards. I took him over 11.5 rebounds plus assists. The odds on this one have been kind of interesting. Like, I locked him in at minus 112. Mere seconds after that, it went to minus 110. And then I checked this morning and it was minus 108. Now it's at minus 120. So the odds are kind of going up back and forth for his rebounds plus assists. But I really like it for Ant. You look at the playoffs over the last 2 years. He's gone over this number in 17 of 26 playoff games over the last 2 years. And you take out the Denver series where he only did it in 1 of 7 games. That's 16 of 19. It's incredible how he has performed in the RA department in terms of over 11.5. It's been really, really good. He's only missing 3 non-Denver
11.5.
games.
What's the market? 11.5 what?
Rebounds plus assists.
First quarter.
No.
Oh, a full game. All right. Hold on. 11.5 rebounds plus assists. So I
wasn't even kidding when he asked you, Moda. He was being serious.
So so it's rebounds plus assists, 11.5 for the game.
Correct. I don't have a first quarter in this one. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
All 4 quarters, Kyle.
Yeah, all 4. Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts.
He also hit it in 3 or 4 games against the Thunder this year. Granted, it was a weird series between the two of them, between those two teams, regular season, because Gobert missed 3 of the 4 games. I think Chet missed 3 of the 4 as well. So you can't just look at the regular season matchup and be like, oh, he's going to do it again. But he went over his rebound prop of 6.5 in all 4 games. He went over his assist prop of 5.5 in 3 of 4 games. Like, he didn't just go over. He annihilated his over 11.5 with 14, 17, and 21. I like the matchup individually for both of his rebounds and assists, especially assists, the way the Thunder play defense. It's just incredibly aggressive ball pressure. They're not going to let themselves get beat by pick and roll ball handlers and isolation scorers. So guys like Ant are going to have to pass the ball a lot more, and it's a good rebounding matchup as well. So, yeah, I took Ant over 11.5 rebounds plus assists.
Chris, what are your thoughts?
I like Modav play. It's like, no, I'm just kidding. I do like your play though, Modav. So full game prop. So I had to hear, it's different analysis, guy. I like that. I like that, Modav.
Caught me off guard.
Yeah, me too. I bet Minnesota. I'm on the Timberwolves today. Give me the Wolves.
Me too.
I took them plus 7.5, and it's a little sprinkle on the money line here, because the team that these dogs that cover typically win the game outright. We go back, we look at this from a full series perspective. 2-2 split. Minnesota finished 3-1 against the number. Of course, 3 of the 4 of those games were played within the 2-week time frame. 2 of them were actually played back-to-back nights. And I remember those games. Julius Randle only played in 2. Rudy Gobert missed 1 of the 4. I think this is if you're the Timberwolves and you're serious about this series, Cal, like about getting to the finals, you got to come out and throw the first blow here. I mean, you have I didn't even mention rest yet, but you got a very fatigued Oklahoma City Thunder team here. Timberwolves, let's stay with the Timberwolves though. Timberwolves on the road have been much better. We've talked about this all playoffs, Kyle. They've been much better on the road than they played at home. 4-1 straight up, 3-2 against the number playing on the road in the playoffs so far this season. They took down my Lakers in 5 games, winning 2 games in LA. They took down the Golden State Warriors. Of course, they were without Steph Curry. But what do the Timberwolves do, Kyle? They play really good defense. This is the 6th best defensive team. And we just saw Oklahoma City struggle to score the basketball against Denver. Denver's not a good defensive team. Denver kind of ran out of gas because Michael Porter Jr. was missing a shoulder and Aaron Gordon was missing a hamstring and Russell Westbrook felt like he was missing his eyes. He couldn't see the rim. All of that stuff happened. But yeah, I mean, why not? The Timberwolves, going back to last season, I was looking into this earlier too. The Timberwolves, since the beginning of last season in the playoffs, 10-3 straight up, 9-4 against the spread when they're playing road games. So I know, it's some matchups that I think will go well in their favor. I also think that they have some really good defenders that are better than Christian Braun to throw at SGA and slow him down a little bit as well. Like the versatility. Also, we think about 3-point shooting, Kyle. The Timberwolves, really great defensive. The Oklahoma City Thunder, really great defensive team. If they have any kind of a weakness, is their ability to give up 3-point shots. If we go back and look at the numbers against Denver in the last series, the games want to shoot a lot of threes, 6th in frequency, 6th in accuracy on the season. I like it. On top of all of that, after you look at all that, in my opinion, you look at these teams that are playing conference final, that are playing in conference finals or finals, so round 3 or better, coming off a 7-game series, just 12-32 against the spread, 35% since 2002. We look at more modern basketball since 2018, 2-11 straight up, 3-10 against the number. If they're facing a team that's coming off a series that's been 5 games or less, which the Thunder are, 4-11 straight up and against the spread. So Timberwolves, I think they win the game today, and they'll still bounce back in game 2.
This is an interesting one. So Minnesota has covered 3 times in a row against Oklahoma City. They're 3-0 against the spread in the last 3 meetings. They're actually 2-1 straight up. So Minnesota's actually played really well against Oklahoma City this season. What makes it even weirder, the last 3 times they met, Minnesota had no Julius Randle, no Rudy Gobert, no Dante DiVincenzo. Still beat them without those guys. Still covered without them in another game. Yep. It's crazy.
It's a really good matchup for him, Kyle.
Yeah, I see. Normally, when you have a team with the rest advantage and one team coming off Game 7, what would be the first thing that comes to mind? You would think, they're going to speed it up, make these guys run. But I don't think Minnesota wants to do that because that plays directly into the strength. Yeah, Minnesota don't want to do that. That plays directly into the strength of Oklahoma City. This is one of the best transition offenses in the NBA and probably the best transition defense. So the faster this game is played, the more it benefits Oklahoma City. So even though Minnesota has the rest advantage, I still think they want to play half-court basketball because that plays into their strength. I think the way I would go, the market's been betting this number up. You can get a 218.5 on Caesars now. Kind of
About
looking
to say OKC team total under.
Yeah, Oklahoma City team total under 112.5.
I know Kyle. I know Kyle.
I wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma City still covers without going over there. You can get a 113, 112.5. Looks like you can get 113.5 if you use one of those exchanges. But let's put it up. Thunder team total under 113.5. Minnesota's defense has been elite. I think the faster this game goes, the more it benefits Oklahoma City. So Minnesota's going to make it a point. Oh, I just changed Modi's pick. Sorry. You guys know what Modi's pick is. Oklahoma City team total under. I guess I would lean towards Minnesota, but 7's too low. I mean, like I said, the EPM data has this 12, not considering the rest advantage in the particular matchup, but 7's low for game 1 in Oklahoma City. So I don't want to touch a side. I'll go with the Thunder team total under 113.5. I'll bet it too, but keep in mind we're in the conference finals now. Just bet responsibly. I mean, just take a side, have some fun, do some gambling. You're not going to make a ton of money betting these markets here. So, all right, let's move on to home run picks. Chris, enjoy your day. See you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Best of luck tonight, fellas. Let's go Wolves! Woo!
that was a howl, I believe. Oh, whoops.
It was a howl. Yep, that's correct.
All right, I'll hit the song.
And it makes you feel down. And it makes you feel down. And it makes you feel down. Down.
It's like this is like so. And I couldn't imagine like seeing the channel for the first time. Being, what am I watching?
What the hell is this?
All right, Matt. What are the home run picks today?
Yeah, so I have 3 and then one long shot that I use my FanDuel boost on. So I'll go quick. Jackson Holiday, just been hitting the crap out of the baseball. He went back-to-back on Saturday and Sunday. He didn't yesterday, but he had 3 hard hits, 1 above 100 miles an hour. One of them was put in the air. That was just like 98. Then I have Kyle Stowers, who I always pronounce his last name correctly. Toast, is that right? Stowers? Okay, yeah, got that right. He had a 402-foot double and another flyout that was like 105 miles per hour off the bat yesterday, going up against Jameson Taillon. The guy is an absolute dong machine. And then 2 guys in the Angels, Yohan Moncada and Nolan Shanuel. His name's Shanwell. I want to say Samuel, but I know that's not
Don't
right.
listen to Toast, bro. Pronounce it how you want. Don't listen to Toast. Pronounce it however you want.
Yeah, I just want to pronounce them correctly.
Hold on. This is a plus 1320.
Well, that's with the FanDuel boost. That's the most important thing here. I put 0.1 units on it, so like I want to make it clear that that's with the boost. With the pick, first of all, the guy's name is Gunnar Hoglund. When your last name starts with Hog, I know for a fact you're a dog machine. That's just what it comes down to.
Dude, Hoglund's good, bro. He can pitch.
He's a strikeout guy, but he's also a dong guy. So it goes hand in hand. Again, it's been 16 innings, so tiny sample size, but 2.16 home run per 9, 10% barrel rate. Hoglund's given up some dongs, is all I'm going to say here. So yeah, those are the 4 guys that I had.
All right, Matt. Thanks for stopping by. See you tomorrow.
See you guys.
I might tail that plus. What is that? 1320 Shanuel. Maybe I'll tail that one for fun. I'm sure people in the Discord will be jumping on that. So Matt, see you tomorrow, man.
See you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, let's switch it over to 2 people. Yeah, the Hog is crazy. Trevor will phrase it in like wild ways too. He'll be like, "I believe in the Hog." All right, let's get Toast on the screen, run through some MLB. Just 2 of us, so this won't be a crazy long stream here. We're just going to rip through it. I have 4 bets open. Reds Pirates is first. Wish I jumped on the Reds at minus 122. It's minus 149 now, so this goes to show you. Don't let a sketchy price keep you off a bet that's going to close outstandingly well. Reds minus 122. You'd be sitting on a nice one here. It would only be Reds or pass, but I didn't get the number, so it's just a pass for me.
It's a pass for me, and they're like really monitoring the rain in Pittsburgh. Hopefully they can play through light rain, but they're not certain from Kevin Roth. So the fact, I mean, it's a coin flip that they play the game. You can put the Reds up for me. It would only be the Reds for me as well, but yeah, there's no chance I play it at this number.
Someone says Trevor loves a good hog.
It's so true, though.
Cubs Marlins. I took the over in this one. Hasn't moved, so you can still get the exact same number I got, I think. I just got a clean 8.5 minus 110 last night. Cubs bullpen, first of all, Cubs bullpen isn't very good to begin with. And on top of that, it's not in good shape here. Remember, the Cubs were winning and they were trying to close the game out. So they were using their bullpen as if they were winning. They were going to win and close out a win. The Marlins walked it off. So the Cubs come into this one with a compromised bullpen, a bullpen that, like I said, is already unreliable. Here, I'll pull it up on the screen for those of you that don't follow the bullpens like that. So here is the Cubs here. You can see. I mean, we're compromised here. Hodge is injured. He just was put on the 15-day IL, I believe. Presley back-to-back days. They're going to have Brad Keller. Pomeranz back-to-back days. Palencia 3 of the last 4 through 24 yesterday. I'd be surprised if we see him. You'll probably see Thielbar. You'll probably see Merriweather. You might see Chris motherfucking flexing in this game. So yeah, I think the Marlins are going to have opportunities to score runs. I don't see any reason to doubt the Cubs bats getting to Weathers. I know some people are kind of big on Weathers, but yeah, I know. I am not the type of person that, maybe the Cubs lineup isn't quite as explosive as it was 3-4 weeks ago, but they're still scoring runs. They scored 7 last night. So yeah, 8.5 just feels low in a ballpark that's been producing overs nonstop for 18 months now. So yeah, I'm on the over. I bet this one.
I played Marlins team total over 3.5 minus 120. So I do like the fact that they just saw Tyone, and you can say the same thing for his over. I don't hate the over either. It is what it is. But I do think that Ryan Weathers is pretty good. I mean, he looked really good at the end of last year, and he's starting to turn the corner. He really found some stuff over the offseason. He looked really good in his first start. Again, it was against the Cubs, so they're seeing him the second time in a row. So I don't love that. But like Kyle mentioned, I'm getting a Marlins team that can score runs at home on top of the fact of a Cubs bullpen that's not only good, but absolutely taxed. So I just took my chances with the Marlins to score some runs here. I didn't want to deal with what Weathers is going to look like against that Cubs offense.
So it looks like this one has moved up a little bit in price. Now, you could still get, if you shop around, you could still get the minus 110 I got, but most have moved it up to minus 115. But yeah, still pretty much the same price as last night. All right, let's move on to Braves, Nats. And this one, I mean, I don't know how you make a logical case for the Nats here. Like, if you're asking me to explain why the Nats will win on paper, it just isn't there. But I just have this feeling that the Nats are going to win this one. Mitchell Parker has looked shaky 4 consecutive starts. Like, it's been a month since we've seen Mitchell Parker pitch well. Nobody wants to back this guy. Pitching against a Braves lineup he just struggled with. I, for whatever reason, think Mitchell Parker is going to pitch well. I couldn't put my money on it, but I think Mitchell Parker is going to pitch well. I know both Toast and Trevor said over last night. I actually think this might be a low-scoring game, but like I said, I don't really have any logic. It's more quote-unquote, I got a feeling, which don't bet based on that shit, but I kind of got a feeling it's going to be a low-scoring game. So I'll put under up, but I want to be very clear. I have no logical reason for liking an under here other than I got a feeling.
I had no logical reason to bet the over either, besides the fact that I didn't know what to do, and I think that Mitchell Parker stinks. So I really have nothing in this one, guys. There's not a chance in hell I would pay minus 185 with the Braves at this price. Not because I don't think Strider's good, it's just because I don't know what to expect from him. So it's just an absolute pass for me.
Yeah, it's a pass for me as well. Let's move on to the next one, which is Mets.
It would make sense for Mitchell Parker to pitch well.
I think he's so due for a good game, man.
Yeah, I went out on a limb, said he'd pitch well in his last start against the Braves. He got shit on. I'm sure he comes out and throws a perfect game today.
All right. So Mets, Boston, left money on the table. I liked the Red Sox last night at the plus 120. It closed at like plus 108, so would have got some good value on it. Would have won a nice bet. Decided to pass. Really comes down to what you think of Walker Buehler. I think Toast made a good point last night. For those of you that didn't watch the midnight show, obviously there's a lot of people chirping about the Mets bats. The Mets offense is dead, blah, blah, blah. They have seen a lot of really good starting pitchers recently. Yeah. I mean, if you just go through the list of who the Mets have seen, it's like a who's who of great starting pitchers. So there's a lot of lineups that would go through a cold stretch if they saw that gauntlet of starters. So, but that being said, I mean, Walker Buehler has a high ceiling, and he hasn't been bad at all. So maybe add another name to that list of this gauntlet the Mets have gone through. This is just, I think the Mets win, personally. Wow, is it minus 140 now?
That's what I'm saying, dude. We missed the number, and it's like I really want to bet the Mets. Like I love the Mets.
We can't bet it now.
I might. I don't know.
At minus 140,
I mean, what's the difference? I mean, for me, like, it doesn't matter what the number is. Like, if they're going to win, they're going to win. So, I mean, if I'm worried about the 15 cents, it is what it is. But I get CLV the other way, and I lose my ass. So, what's the difference? So, it's either that or Mets team total over 4.5 at minus 110. Yeah, I like I said last night, I don't think that this Mets offense is as bad as people make them out to me. I know I can poke fun of them at times because they're Kyle's favorite team and whatnot, but that's why I went on that little rant yesterday, because I don't feel truly in my heart of hearts I wouldn't be worried about this Mets offense. The defense, yes, you can worry about that, but the offense I wouldn't really worry about. So not to mention the fact that if there's one thing that Walker Buehler has struggled with lately and in the last couple of years is lefty bats. And I mean, there's some pretty damn good lefties in that lineup as far as Soto, Lindor, Nimmo, McNeil, Beatty. I mean, McNeil and Beatty, take it or leave it, but I mean, they've been somewhat decent. So again, it would only be the Mets for me. I feel like I lost the number. I might still play the team total or something. I really think that they could destroy Walker Buehler. So they might not. We'll see what happens. But I mean, even like the pitch mix situation, like he only throws his fastball 25% of the time. That's the only pitch that they somewhat struggle with. Like I have a hard time believing the Mets don't get right here today. So we'll see.
In my opinion, the move would have been to take that minus 122 we were looking at last night. I think you can't bet it now. Next up, Houston on the road in Tampa smoked the market in this one. CLV wise, this would be my best bet of the day. Can't get it anymore, so what's the point of even saying it? But for those of you that are wondering what the bet is, I got the Astros team total under 4.5 at plus 100 last night. So I think the cheapest you can get is minus 125 now. Like I said, copy and paste what I said yesterday. I was kicking myself for not betting this yesterday. I said I liked the Astros team total under 4.5. I said it multiple times. Didn't end up betting it. It actually was a little sweaty there at the end. They finished with 4, but it did hit. Going right back to it. In fact, I kind of like Zach Littell better than Pepio. I know not all the numbers support that, but like Toast always talks about, Littell goes deep into games. He's a formidable starting pitcher, and the Astros have just not hit on the road all year. This is a bottom 5 road lineup. Literally bottom 5 in baseball. That's not exaggerating. This is a bottom 5 road lineup. And plus 100 to not get to 5 runs just seemed like a steal, especially against a starting pitcher in Littell that I think is pretty good. On top of that, Rays bullpen in completely fine. Fairbanks, Clevenger, Manuel Rodriguez, Ucheta, whoever they want to use is going to be available. So the Rays have the entire bullpen at their disposal. This just felt like a great number. Plus 100 to not get to 5 runs. Honestly, if I didn't have this bet down, I'd probably still play it at minus 125. Toast?
Full unit on the Rays ML at minus 120 here. Really like, again, like Kyle said, Zach Littell's a guy I really like. I know that some of his expected numbers and whatnot aren't great, but he continues to go out there and go deep into games, essentially almost 6 innings every time he goes out there. He gives up a couple runs, but he's definitely a guy that I like to back, especially at home, especially with the rested bullpen. And the reason, again, another reason that I really love the Rays is the Astros bullpen is in shambles right now. Hader's back-to-back days, Abreu back-to-back days, and then Brian King 27 pitches yesterday as well. So their top 3 arms are pretty compromised as far as Houston is concerned. So again, not in love with the Rays lineup, but at the same time, I do think that they have a pretty big advantage later on in the game and in a starting pitching wise as well. So yeah, I'll definitely take my chances with the Rays here today.
Rangers, Yankees in Yankee Stadium. Patrick Corbin makes a road start. Looks like they took some Yankees money because I'm pretty sure this line has moved towards New York. The Rangers are now plus 176. Patrick Corbin's been great this year. On the road in Yankee Stadium's a little bit of a different environment for him, but as Toast was talking about last night, Patrick Corbin pitched great against the Yankees last year. I truly have no idea. The Rangers bullpen is not anything I have any interest in backing right now. They're super injured. You have Luke Jackson just coming off the IL. Same goes for Chris Martin. Who knows how much we can rely on them right now. So I don't trust the Rangers bullpen at all. I probably, if I was forced to place a bet here, which I'm not going to, would just take Yankees minus 1.5, but I definitely will not be betting this.
It'll be Rangers first 5 plus 155 right now. I'm kind of watching this. I don't think I'm going to get any better than that, but I've been watching this number all day. I will give you that the Rangers bats aren't anything special, but I do think that they've started to look a little bit better. And I think they're going to continue to get better. I also like when teams come into Yankee Stadium the first time. It's just one of those things where I feel like it's a bump, not to mention the fact that the Rangers are playing a lot better. So their confidence has to be a lot higher as well. They're 7-3 their last 10 games. Not to mention you have the Yankees coming off the Subway Series. They looked fantastic, obviously winning two of the three games in that series. For one, also, I don't think that Will Warren should be this big of a favorite. I get he has there's no lefties in the Texas Rangers lineup. I don't really worry about that too much. I just don't feel like he should be this big of a favorite. Patrick Corbin has been pitching well. He's a veteran. I was saying this even before he started pitching well at Texas. I wanted him on the Padres. Why? Because I truly thought that getting out of Washington was going to be a fantastic opportunity for him. He had no more weight of that contract. They weren't going to leave him out there to die. And he's came in here obviously in Texas and pitched his ass off. And if you look at the Yankees versus lefty starters, they haven't gotten to anybody except for Cade Povich and Bubic in the last month. So, again, if Corbin comes out here and the Yankees finally blow up a lefty, so be it. But I think that in a game that has decent weather and a lot of people think are bad weather, and that people think that the game is going to go under in most cases, I'll take my chances here with Texas in the first 5. I want nothing to do with the full game. I wouldn't be surprised if Texas is tied or has a lead and then loses by 5 because their bullpen is that bad.
Something I want to show you, because obviously the lead story in this one is going to be Patrick Corbin against the Yankees bats, right? I'm sure that's what everyone's talking about. But I want to look at this over here. This is what I was talking about last night. Look at Will Warren against righty bats. He's been excellent against righties. 238 WOBA, 078 whip. Those are elite numbers against righty bats. And in case you're unfamiliar with the Rangers lineup right now, remember, there's no Corey Seager right now. And without Corey Seager, oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm looking at tomorrow's lineup. My bad. Let me pull up today's lineup. There's not a lot of lefties in this lineup at all. 1, 2. Pretty much. Josh Smith and Jock Peterson. You got a couple of switch hitters at the bottom, but there's just no dangerous lefties in the Rangers lineup. I think Will Warren could pitch really well. So
I agree. A game that I think is probably going to go under, and I'm getting a coin flip in the first 5, and I think with the starting pitching advantage.
Thank you for the super chat, by the way, Baby Billy. Padres on the road to Toronto.
Baby Billy.
That's his name, Baby
I
Billy.
know. You just don't expect that. Just like, oh, thank you, Baby Billy.
Baby Billy. Padres on the road in Toronto. So when we went through this game last night, the line wasn't open. It wasn't confirmed that Chris Bassett is going to pitch. Looks like it is now confirmed that Chris Bassett's going to pitch. So it looks like we are going to get Bassett. You have a bet in this game, Toast.
I do.
Go ahead.
Padres first 5 money line at minus 118. I think that the Padres can get to Bassett. He hasn't really looked good. I think he had one good home start against Tampa Bay. And I will give you that at home is where you kind of want to back Bassett. But, I mean, the start against Atlanta, Atlanta wasn't doing anything at the beginning of April. And then he had a good start against a Rays team that really can't hit. And I will give you that the Padres haven't really been hitting lately at all. But, again, it's one of those spots that I like after getting embarrassed at home. First game on a road trip. Bassett does struggle with some lefties here today. So Arise, Merrill, Sheets, Cronenworth, Hayward, all going to be in the lineup today. So there's plenty of lefties there. And then as far as Dylan Cease is concerned, I just really like him matched up against this Toronto offense because they only have really 2 lefties in the lineup in Varsho and Santander that I think that can really beat you. And Santander really hasn't been the same yet so far. I think he's been dealing with injuries or something, but regardless, he just really hasn't been the same. So if Varsho gets him he gets him. But I do think that this is a really good spot for Dylan Cease. So he's been pretty much solid all year. I mean, he had one blow up start, but besides that, I mean, you can pretty much pencil him in for 6 innings, 2 runs baseball. So, and again, has the Blue Jays been impressive versus right-handed pitching? Yeah. I would argue that some of the names aren't really impressive. So again, I'm not the biggest Dylan Cease guy, even though I'm a Padres homer, but I do think that he can pitch well here today. I know I love the Padres bullpen, but I need to see them pitch well before I trust them right now. So, yeah, I'll stick to the first 5.
Man, I don't know. Cease has been good, but, like, does that mean he's due to get rocked? Like, I feel like every single aspect of this baseball game is extremely high variance. The Padres bats, not very good recently, but we know they're capable of being explosive. The Blue Jays bats last couple weeks are a top 5 lineup, but you look at righty starters, they're not getting to them. Didn't get to Jackson Jobe, didn't get to Reese Olson, didn't get to Jack Flaherty, didn't get to Zach Littell, didn't get to Ryan Pepio. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if this game's 11-10. Wouldn't be surprised if this game's 1-0. So I just feel like there's way too many avenues of outcomes here for this game. This is a straight pass, coin flip game across the board. Let's move on to Baltimore-Milwaukee. I have a bet in this one, and I'm pretty sure it's still at the exact same number it was last night. Seems like the market really respects Logan Henderson. Brewers are sitting as a nice favorite. Total's not going up. I took the over 8.5, and I think it's a solid bet. Let's see if it's moved at all. 1 second. I think I got a minus 115 last night. So if we look here, Baltimore, Milwaukee, yeah, it's still at the exact same price. It's actually at 8.5, minus 115 to the over on every single sports book. It's like deadlocked at that number. So you could still get the exact same number I did last night. I know when we look at these two teams, we think shit. But it's important to point out which aspects of these teams are shit. On Baltimore, it's the pitching, right? We don't trust the bullpen. We don't trust the rotation at all.
Oh, I would argue the offense is equally as shit.
But it's just because they're not getting runs across. They're hitting the baseball. Even yesterday, bro, there were 3 or 4 hard hit line drives directly at the shortstop, directly at the third baseman. They are hitting the ball. And maybe Baltimore isn't able to get to Logan Henderson. I think they're perfectly capable of getting to Logan Henderson. But regardless, why don't we check something out here? Why don't you look at the Brewers bullpen? Let me ask you, who the hell's pitching the second half of the game for Milwaukee? McGill, Uribe, Mears, Koenig. All 4 of those guys back-to-back games. So they're built. You got Logan Henderson, an extremely young, inexperienced starter. You've got a completely cooked Milwaukee bullpen. I'm not taking the Orioles. I'm just saying the Orioles are going to score runs here. It's not like this lineup has been completely shut out. They're averaging like 5 runs a game in their last few. Yes, they're losing, but they're scoring runs. So I think we can count on the Orioles to score runs here. And on the other side, I know the Brewers bullpens have been complete shit, but who in the hell is Chase McDermott? He's got a 12 ERA. I don't even know who it is. So yeah, over 8.5 seems fair. I'm sorry, over 8.5 seems low. I think it should be 9.5. Give me that over.
It would only be Baltimore at plus 120 or pass just because of the Brewers bullpen situation. But I have zero interest betting this game. I feel like Baltimore, yes, they've averaged whatever that number is. But like I said, last night they had 6 runs in the 8th and 9th innings on Saturday. They had a couple random runs after they were already down by 9 runs on Sunday. And then yesterday they didn't do anything. For 7 innings or for 8 innings, they had 1 home run. It just doesn't do it for me. So there's not a chance in hell I would bet it.
Let's move on to the next one. Mariners on the road at the White Sox.
I think the Mariners are going to use every person that they can to pitch this game.
What do you think?
I have no idea. The Mariners are starting with Lawrence and then going with Laguma or something like that. Guys, I honestly have no idea who they are. I have no idea what to do in this game. I guess over or pass, just because there's so many issues with, question marks with the Seattle guys as far as who they are and how good they are, but I have no idea.
Same thing I said yesterday. I said under or pass. But you can't actually bet an under here. You can't place this bet. Bryce Wilson against Casey Lawrence.
You can't place
You
this
can't
bet.
do this. Like, you have to look yourself in the mirror. You have to lay your head down on the pillow at night. You can't bet an under. Bryce Wilson against Casey Lawrence. But yeah, let's move on to the next one.
It's just because the White Sox pitching is so bad and their offense, if they give you 3, you might be cooked as far as that under. That's why you have to
this game. By the way, this one's been postponed. So
yeah,
Tigers Cardinals.
Yeah. Me and the world were on Scooby Day. I really think that Fetty could get absolutely throttled by the Tigers offense. I know that they've been kind of hit or miss, but at the same time, well, I guess last night they were hit or miss. But regardless, you have Fetty coming off of back-to-back shutout performances. I just have a hard time believing that that can continue. And I know that he's a little bit better, or he's a better versus lefties, but that doesn't really concern me too much with this Tigers offense. I don't really think that Eric Fetty's that good at all. And we have Scooble coming off of an absolute, he got destroyed for Scooble standards, giving up 5 runs, regardless if it's 6 1/3. He got destroyed in Scooble standards. So I have a hard time believing he doesn't bounce back here today. And I get that the Cardinals' numbers versus lefties look kind of decent, but they're like really only middle of the pack. They got to Cole Reagans, they got to Mackenzie Gore, Mitchell Parker, but besides that, there's multiple guys that pitch well against them. So I have a pretty good feeling that Scooble's going to pitch well here today.
This is a straight pass for me. I kind of want to bet the Cardinals. But I'm not going to. Phillies on the road.
You should bet the Cardinals first 5. I'm going to lose my ass anyway.
Phillies in Coors. Jesus Luzardo against the Tella. Did you bet that Phillies team total over? You were talking about it.
Yeah, I just paired the Phillies and the Giants at plus 127. That's what I did.
All right.
So just a small bet. We'll talk about the Giants when we get there. But again, I just don't see the Phillies losing this game. So we saw it last night. The Rockies were in it until they weren't. And that's pretty much probably going to be the same situation tonight. So, and the Phillies offense has started to score some runs lately as well. So they had one bad game against Pittsburgh. Besides that, and that was a Paul Skeens game, by the way. Besides that, 8, 5, 7, 9. Yeah, they've been hitting the ball well.
Donkey parlay of the day here.
Got to try something else differently, dude. Just losing my ass every other way. So,
all right. Royals on the road in San Francisco. Got a nice bet here. I'm sitting on the Giants at minus 130. Consensus now minus 147, so got some good CLV here. It's not necessarily a bet on Birdsong per se. It's more a fade of Michael Lorenzen, a fade of the Royals bullpen that's on the tax side. We'll go through it, but the bet I have open is Giants. I have minus 130. Like I said, it's up to minus 147 now, so it's approaching the area of pass at the current number, but I like my bet at minus 130. So here's the Royals bullpen. Well, first of all, Michael Lorenzen has been on fade on the road since 2020. Yeah. Michael Lorenzen on the road has been almost. If I see Michael Lorenzen making a road start, just know before I even look at anything, I'm already got my finger on the trigger on the other side. So Michael Lorenzen on the road.
So far this year, just really quickly, 3 runs against 5 2/3, 7 hits, 3 runs against Cleveland. He got destroyed in Detroit. He finally pitched well in Tampa Bay, only to get destroyed by Baltimore. And I guess he went 7 innings in Houston, but he did give up 4 runs. So, yeah.
So here's the Royals bullpen. On top of Lorenzen, who, by the way, probably only going to give us 5 innings here.
Max.
Yeah.
Especially after coming off of 2 7-inning performances. Like, I have a hard time believing he goes deep into this game. Sorry to interrupt you.
So on top of Michael Lorenzen on the road, Royals are really limited. Now, the Royals are pretty deep in the bullpen. They still have Angel Zerpa, who's okay. I don't really know who a couple of these guys are
The
down
Cruz
here.
kid's good. That Steven Cruz kid's pretty decent.
And they have Urseg, who's been excellent. So it's not like they have nobody, but they don't have much long relief here. So if Lorenzen's only able to give them 5 innings, which all likelihood he's probably only able to give them 5, they're going to be in trouble in the late innings here, especially if they don't have the lead. They're not going to use Urseg if they don't have the lead. So I don't like the pitching situation here for the Royals across the board. Don't like the matchup for Lorenzen. Don't like the bullpen situation. And on top of that, look, I've been pretty vocal about how I don't like this Giants offense. But one thing you have to give them is they've hit it home this year. They have. This is an above-average home lineup in the last 30 days, top 10 in the last 14 days. I'm not a big fan of this Giants lineup, but they have hit at home in this ballpark. So the Giants should score runs here. Look, I'm not a big Birdsong guy, but Kansas City's really struggled to consistently score. Giants bullpen is completely rested here. Let me just make sure that's accurate. Maybe no Tyler Rogers, but Ryan Walker is available. Doval's available. Eric Miller's available. Randy Rodriguez. So Giants bullpen's in good shape. Like I said, minus 147. I mean, maybe if you want to just get in on it, it's approaching the area of unplayable.
You can get 140 on BetMGM if you have that. I don't know if it's still available.
Yeah, that's cool. You get a minus 140.
I just wanted to say if anybody was really trying, because San Francisco is like one of my favorite plays today. So I have them in the first 5, and I have them in that parlay with Philadelphia. But I just wanted to say, just to point out, because Kyle did a really good job of covering pretty much everything. But I just wanted to say, if you look at the righty starters that the Giants have seen lately, it's like some of their numbers aren't good, but it's Severino on the road, who's been fantastic this year. Brandon Pfaadt, Merrill Kelly, Pablo Lopez, Joe Ryan, Chris Paddock, Ben Brown, Colin Rea, and then the Colorado guys. It doesn't matter. But all those guys have been pitching pretty well this year, give or take Rea and Brown. It is what it is. But my point being is that those other guys that they have seen against Minnesota and Arizona and Oakland or Sacramento, whatever, as pretty damn good righties. And then obviously Lorenzen doesn't fit that bill. So I just wanted to point that out as well. But yeah, I love the Giants today as well.
All right. 2 games remaining. Angels Athletics. You went with just a pure fade of Kyle Hendricks. Also, I'm sure that the weather is playing a factor into your bet here, right?
That and then screen grab the Angels bullpen for the people as well.
Okay.
The old paint by numbers, as I like to say. Oakland let me down yesterday. I mean, it wasn't just Oakland. I had the over in the game, but I'm not going to let that stop me here today. I do think that they have a really good opportunity here today. Obviously, the weather in Sutter Health Park today is fantastic. And then on top of that, we get to fade Kyle Hendricks, who I don't think if you're watching this show, you need me to tell you that he's bad and very, very bad. But more or anything, it's this, what he's about to pull up right now is that this Angels bullpen, who's already one of the worst in the league, has absolutely nobody at the back half of this game. Jansen, Zephyron, Neris, all 3 of their top 3 arms have all worked 3 of the last 4 days, so they're not going to be available. So I know that Oakland's offense has been stagnant to be nice over the last week and a half or so. I think this is a fantastic spot for them to finally get right against Hendricks and a bullpen that's absolutely taxed. And that's about it.
They're taking A's money. We're up to minus 170 now.
That's why I wanted nothing to do with that.
At current, I would probably go Angels or pass. I mean, this team's hot. This team keeps winning. What is that, 4 in a row? Like 6 of their last 9 or something. This team is winning. So, I mean, I know no one thinks it's sustainable, and I probably agree with that, but plus 143 with a team that's on a winning streak against the A's, probably just go Angels or pass. Not betting it.
That's part of the. I agree with that. Just for the record, there's no chance in hell I would pay that juice with Oakland. And again, like I said yesterday as well, the Angels, like Kyle said, have won I think 6 of their last 10 or whatever it is. But you got to remember they lost 2 games in San Diego, and one of them was a walk-off. So had they won that game in San Diego, I mean, they would. I don't even think you'd be getting close to this price because they've been playing a lot better than people give them credit for.
Diamondbacks on the road in LA to play the Dodgers. Yamamoto. The Dodgers losing streak can't last forever, can it?
It might, because their pitching is dog shit, and Yamamoto's been bad. But I mean, let's be real here. I mean, when you look at that Dodgers bullpen, it's not the same. And like we touched on this last night as well. So I ended up just trying to. Their bats have been fine. So over the last 10 games, the Dodgers run scored 5-4, 9-2, 19, 9-1, 8, 14, and 0. So obviously their offense isn't the issue at all. So I'm just going to focus on that. So I just played Dodgers team total over 5.5, -102. I know that Ryan Nelson has been somewhat feasible, and I know that he's a little bit better on the road in his career. Again, this Dodgers offense is just that damn good. So as far as the side is concerned, I don't really know. But also, as far as the Dodgers team total is concerned, Shelby Miller won't be in the game. He's their closer. Ginkel is still worked 3 of the last 4 days on super low pitch count, but it is something I don't know how Lovello does that. But they also saw McGraw and Thompson and Morello yesterday. So I do think there's a lot of positives for this Dodgers offense to get right. Not to mention the fact it's going to give you have Teo another day back in that lineup, which is obviously going to help. So they're going to have essentially like all the who's who: Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Smith, Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez, Andy Pages. All those guys are playing tonight. So I just think that the Dodgers can score. I don't know what to think of Yamamoto, though. That's like where my concern is. So I do think that he's one of the better pitchers in the league, but again, Arizona has already seen him. They've already destroyed him, and they've seen him again for the second time in less than 2 weeks. So, again, do I think that Yamamoto probably pitches well? I don't know, if you ask me, because they're hanging out that Dodgers are the Arizona team total at -3.5. So it's went up a little bit, but you can still get an Arizona team total over 3.5 at -125. And the way that Arizona's been playing right now, and the way that Yamamoto's been pitching, that should be absolutely free as air. So just kind of confused a little bit on that, but I just want to focus on the Dodgers scoring runs today, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I think the Dodgers win via blowout. I mean, on top of everything, Arizona's probably not going to have Shelby Miller. They're going to be limited in the late innings. If Ryan Nelson gets into trouble, you're going to see a guy named Christian Montes de Oca come in on the road.
I specifically didn't say that because I didn't want to butcher it, because I was bad. You did a good job.
Yeah, Christian Montes de Oca is going to probably come in from AAA. I mean, if Ryan Nelson is able to go 6 strong innings here, yeah, they'll be all right. But they're not going to use Ginkel if they're losing or tied.
No, especially with how much they've worked with him. That's why I was saying.
So
even though the pitch count is low, I don't think that they use him unless they absolutely feel like they're going to win the game.
See, this is why I might bet the Dodgers -1.5. Yes, laying 1.5 with a home team that's lost 4 consecutive games. I get it. But in this particular instance, if the Dodgers are winning the game, which in all likelihood they should be, Yamamoto at home against Ryan Nelson, if the Dodgers are winning the game, the arms we're going to see from Arizona trailing should turn a 1-run lead into a 3-run lead. I mean, like I said, the Arizona bullpen is not in the most comfortable situation. So I'm not going to lose. I lost a bet with the Dodgers 2 days in a row. So I don't really feel like losing a third consecutive, but it would only be Dodgers -1.5 here.
I will say too, I know a lot of people like the over. It makes sense to me. Every time that these teams play, there's fireworks. Listen to this. Last 10 games: 9-5, 8-1, 3-0, 14-11, 5-3, 11-6, 14-3, 8-6, 10-9, 9-3. Like it's like these games have like fireworks every time that they play. So
we're polling Arizona, so people are betting the Snakes.
That's why I feel like Dodgers destroy them too,
I think
because
so,
they're
too.
hanging those 3.5s out there. Like, here, look at Arizona. They scored a whole bunch yesterday.
Yeah.
They've already got to Yamamoto. Here, take it. 3.5. You want 125? Go ahead. Here.
People are slamming the +185, +190. It's now +195.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to talk about some golf. Toast. Talk to you. I'll see you at midnight.
Corey Connors, shout out.
Yeah, Corey Connors did come through. Now, some people didn't get some people had a partial payout on that because I bet on Bet365, so I got a full payout on Corey Connors, top 20. But technically, he tied for 19th, so some people only got a partial there. As a whole, PGA Championship wasn't exactly what we were looking for. It wasn't terrible, but not great. Let's bounce back here. All right. We got the Charles Schwab Championship, and I got 4 picks for you here.
Yeah, it was a week to forget on the PGA Championship. I don't know how many people were watching on Sunday. If they were tailing your Xander pick, Xander had it absolutely going on Sunday, and he climbed up all the way ahead of Corey Connors, actually. His last 3 holes, double bogey, bogey, birdie. So he was 2 over on his last 3 holes, which essentially dropped him to T28. So he was inside that top 20 threshold.
I saw he had a shot.
We did ride the Canadian Moose Missile, Corey Connors, to another W. Unfortunately, he's not playing this week, so we're his saddle must be a little bit tired of being ridden, so we're gonna have to find some other plays this week.
All right. So where are we going first? I saw you got 4 picks for us here.
Yeah, let's start with a guy who we talk about a lot, who's made us a lot of money. Let's go with Aaron Rye. Aaron Rye has 7 top 25s this season. He's got 3 straight top 25s this year. He's got a top 20. His last 3 events here at the Charles Schwab, 3 for 3 in cuts made. One of those being a top 20. So and that was a T12. So I like Aaron Rye in this spot. He's playing good golf. He's been the model of consistency in terms of he leads the PGA Tour in fairways hit and leads the PGA Tour in shots tee to green. Which are the 2 huge categories. That means he hits the ball pretty straight. He's Mr. Consistency. And it's a good price for Aaron Rye this week, especially in another later field, because a lot of guys are taking the week off because they all just played in the major PGA Championship.
I might be down to tail Aaron Rye. I've won a lot of Aaron Rye bets the last couple of years. Where to next?
Let's go to another guy we've talked about a decent amount this year. Show me Daniel Berger.
There it is. Plus 120 for the top 20 for Berger.
Yeah, so Daniel Berger is a past champion at this event, so you got to like somebody who already has winning credibility here. I think his win was in 2022. So within 2020, last 5 years, he has a win and 2 more top 25s at this event. He has 9 top 25s on the season. So a guy who's been putting together a solid campaign, showing that he can do it with consistency. Again, past history, I really like at this golf course. So past champion with 2 top 25s in the last 5 years and 9 top 25s this season. Nobody's really playing that consistent golf. So I like Berger in a plus money spot on this golf course.
Berger top 20. Okay, next.
Next, we're going to go to a guy who we've talked about occasionally, and I have a personal connection because one of my members
Novak.
is his grand uncle. So Andrew Novak has a 27% chance on Data Golf, which is the model that we're using to finish inside the top 20. So about a 1/3 chance to finish inside the top 20 at plus. I saw 230 odds. Yeah. So let's look at Novak's last 5 events. He's got a solo third, a solo second, a win in the team event, a T17, and he missed the cut, unfortunately, last week at the PGA Championship. But in terms of playing good golf, he's really, really riding a hot streak right now. And he's actually finished in the top 20 in 7 of the 16 events he's played this year. So finishing in the top 20 at almost a 50% clip for the season. So another guy who's been a pretty good model of consistency. And I think you're getting a great price on Andrew Novak this week. So really like him in this spot. I think it's a good price.
If you want to be a little less risky, you can get Andrew Novak top 40 minus 110.
Don't hate that play either.
All right. And what's last?
Last but certainly not least, Keith Mitchell.
Who in the hell is that?
Keith Mitchell leads the PGA Tour in first round scoring. So I'm definitely going to sprinkle Keith Mitchell to be N1 leader. It's probably a nice little prop bet. Probably somewhere around plus 2,200.
Round 1 leader. First round leader is plus 5,500.
Yeah, baby. Keith Mitchell leads the PGA Tour in first round scoring, so I love that bet if you're looking to get a little crazy. But let's talk about Keith Mitchell for a little bit. 5 top 20s in his last 6 starts, so a guy who's playing some good golf. He was tied for 10th place last year in this event before he had just an abysmal 4th round performance, ended up finishing at like T37. But a guy who's consistently been putting together some good numbers for the last couple of weeks. Like I said, 5 top 20s in his last 6 starts, and has some good history at this golf course. So gotta love Keith Mitchell. If you're looking to do something with Keith Mitchell, I really like the first round leader play here. It's a little
put it
crazy,
on the screen.
Like
First round leader. I'll put it on I almost guarantee that there's some psychos that are watching this that are going to bet this. But
yeah, just a little taste for you.
What he said was Keith Mitchell, the first round leader. 1 second. Let me get it on the screen. Wow, hold on. There it is. Keith Mitchell, first round leader, plus 5,500. I'm putting it under my face, but Jill with this. Plus 5,500. Keith Mitchell to be leading after the first round. I mean,
some. Everybody pay your mortgage this week on Keith Mitchell and round leader.
Never even heard of the guy. All right, everyone, enjoy your night. Big Nasty, talk to you next week. Hopefully we get back on track.
Let's get back on our winning ways, baby.
Yeah. Oh, betting league. You know what? Let's go through the standings. Big Nasty, I'll talk to you later, man. I'm gonna go through the betting league standings real quick. After day 1 of the new week, forgot to do this earlier. Yo, what's up? Is leading the White Dragon division with 3.01 units, followed by Benji and Mustard. Mike Jones division, Alvarado P.E.Diza is in first place, followed by Waldo Mack and Dolo. Apollo's up there as well. In the South Neosporin division, Shock's in first, followed by Buzzsaw, and the Soviet Union is up there, representing communism. From Under Cheese division, Helms is in first place, followed by Crayon Eater. In the Pig division, Adams Digest is plus 2.8 units there, followed by B. Grebs and Kevin McIver. Hans is up there as well. And in the Children of the Corn division, Wellesley's in first, Call Me the Winner second, Bills Fan third, Empire fourth. If you're in the betting league, you have 58 minutes to submit your picks tonight. Everyone, thanks for watching. Yeah,